Brotherhood in Africa, it's among 3 countries. Okay? All of you are not brothers. You're lying to each other. You just look at people that are black like you call them brothers. You are not brothers. You don't know what brotherhood is. 3 countries in Africa are brothers. Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. This is how it is. Nigerian soldiers are in Mali, Bamako. Here they are. Here's Niger, here's Mali. Soldiers from Niger are in Bamako. Bamako is the capital of Mali. They're rejoicing. Look how happy they are. Look at them cooking. Look. Cutting inyama. You know, inyama is meat. Cutting inyama. African people just love meat. Like, you have no idea. African people love meat. I know black people in America love meat too. So bad. You know? Yeah. Black people all across the world just love meat. It's just crazy because a lot of black people, you see them, when they eat food that's not meat, they're still hungry. It's like they haven't eaten. Like a lot of black people could never be vegetarians because it's just crazy. Food is meat. Like, if meat is not present, the pot is not good. Like, you gotta have meat. Like grilled meat. You know what I mean? Choma, nyama choma, braai. That's what you call it, you know? Barbecue in America. Anyway, let's get back on track. Niger soldiers are in Mali right now and they're very happy. What are they doing there? Well, they went there as a convoy to 82 fuel tankers from Niger all the way to Mali. So basically, they were guarding a convoy of 82 tankers from Niger all the way to Mali. These tankers were full with fuel.
We have come home here in Mali to show our people in the AES region, contrary to everything that might be said, that we are here for these people and we will do everything to ensure that these people, that all our cities are supplied. That is the primary mission of the strategic escort. The second mission is also to continue securing our territory and always prove to the people that this is the people's army.
Brotherhood has to be proven, brother. You know, this is brotherhood. Brotherhood has to be proven. Does brotherhood have anything to do with skin of color? I'm just asking you, are we brothers just because we have the same kind of skin? Are we brothers just because we come from the same country? I mean, countries are bullshit anyway. Countries are basically creations of Europeans when they went to Africa. Because Africa had never countries before. There were kingdoms, there were ethnic groups and human beings. There was no countries. Is brotherhood based on a passport color because you have the same kind of passport, you brothers? I don't think so, because people of your passport can do you wrong. People that speak your own language can do you wrong. They can be your worst enemies. And sometimes you find people from very far away becoming your real brothers, pushing you forward and helping you become great in life. So the convoy of Nigerian soldiers arrived in Bamako on the 22nd of November 2025 after a journey of nearly 1,400 kilometers. That's a long distance, brother. That's a long distance. It was 82 tankers with fuel offered by this man right here, the president of Niger, Abdourahmane Tiani, as a donation to Mali. Why? Because Mali is going through a very difficult time, and you need to understand this. Escort was composed by Nigerian pickup trucks, armored vehicles, motorcycle. They all provided security throughout the entire route. Security against who? Against terrorists. Jinn. These are the people that are blocking fuel from entering Mali. Now, for context, so you can understand exactly what's happening. Now, Mali has been facing a very severe fuel shortage, okay, since September. It's been very difficult. No fuel, okay, due to a blockade imposed by Jinn, jihadists affiliated to Al-Qaeda. Now, these people are blocking roads. They are ambushing fuel tankers, making sure that the country doesn't have fuel. You know, brother, fuel is very important. I know we don't see it. We think internet is the most important thing today with this generation, but fuel is very important. Why? When there's no fuel, there is no life. Not in the 21st century. Basically, when there's no fuel in a country, the price of everything goes up. Why? Because everything needs to be transported by truck. Trucks use fuel. Okay? We need fuel to move. So your medicine, your food, your entertainment, everything, your hair, stylist, everything goes up. When there is not enough fuel, obviously the prices of everything goes up. Now, what are the consequences in Mali? There are endless lines at gas stations. Many cars trying to get fuel. Many cars trying to get fuel. And with soaring prices, you're seeing the black market being born. Obviously, people that work into the business of fuel will try to get some of the fuel into the black market at a price that's very expensive. So you either have to wait on a line as car number 10 or go to the black market and buy fuel at an expensive price. So whoever that gives you the fuel is more than happy to sell you the fuel at an expensive price. And it can make it very difficult for you to get fuel from the petrol station. So you can go buy. Because at the end of the day, they are making the profit. So there are endless lines at gas station, people trying to get fuel. There's soaring prices of black market. Number 3, there's closure of schools and universities. So young Malians cannot go to school because there's no fuel. There's no taxis. In Africa, people use minibus. You call it minibus as a taxi to move all around the place. Now, this operation is part of a solidarity within the IOS. And the IOS is these 3 countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. What do they have in common? They all speak French. Why do they speak French? Because they were colonized by the French. What has occurred? Well, they decided to kick out the French. How? Because after being colonized by the French in the 1960s, they got independence. But it was a fake independence because even though the French say, we're leaving your country, we're going to let you run your own countries, they still made sure they had puppet presidents running the countries. Okay, so they had presidents that were Africans and black, but they were serving the interest of the French. Now, people were not doing great in these countries until these 3 people came. When they went into their respective countries, they did what we call coup d'etat, so overthrowing the president. After overthrowing their president, the first thing they do, they cut ties with France because they felt like their economy was being sucked dry by France. How come Niger has so much uranium, but they still live in poverty? Meanwhile, France is taking all the uranium at a very cheap price. How cheap? France used to buy uranium from Niger at $0.80 a kilogram, while buying the same quality of uranium from Canada at $200. Imagine that. $0.80 a kilogram for $200 for the same quality of uranium. That shows you how they see you. You're just a bunch of rats to their eyes. Now, these 3 people say, enough, we don't want cooperation with you anymore. They cut off relationship with France. And now, some experts believe that France is behind all these moves. What move? The petroleum move. What is this move about? The move is simple. These terrorist groups are trying to block fuel from entering these countries. And by blocking fuel, you're going to destabilize the entire country. Nothing's going to function. The government can't move. Kids can't go to school. Prices of food will soar. And people will be unhappy. And it's going to make it easy when they come and take over the country. Now, people believe France is behind that. Is it correct? I don't know. You let me know how you feel about that. Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso are showing brotherhood. Okay, brotherhood is not just when things are good. As a matter of fact, brotherhood is actually proven when things are wrong. When you're unhappy, when you're sad, when you're going through difficulties in life, people that stand behind you, those are your brothers. When you're facing some of the worst adversaries in your life, people that stand by you are your brothers. I'm the kind of guy, if you're my brother, you're my friend, even if there are 32 people trying to beat you up, well, brother, I'm not going to leave you by yourself. I'm going to stand there. They must beat both of us up. I'm not going to go running to the police, calling the police, hey, they're beating up my friends. No, that's not me. I also have been the kind of person that believe a strong man needs to have a woman who's ready to defend his life. Meaning if a stranger walks into your house with a gun or something, and you happen to have a gun in your bedroom, then the stranger's got a gun on your head, your wife shouldn't be praying, oh, please don't shoot him, don't kill him. She should run to the bedroom, pull out the gun and shoot the shit out of this guy. Boom, boom, boom. That's what you need. You don't need somebody to cry like, oh, they killed him. I can't believe they put a gun on my head and I just fell on the ground. It's the same for brotherhood. You need brothers that are ready to die with you. Africans call each other brothers. They lie to one another. Brother, my brother, my brother, my brother. But when you come out, you must go back to your country. Yeah. Well, Niger, Burkina Faso are showing you brotherhood like Europeans always show you. You can't mess with a European country without other European countries getting angry about it. They will push you away. Let me tell you something. When Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali decided to kick out France soldiers from their countries because they used to stay there since independence, they had some soldiers staying in these countries. You see all these countries here where they speak French? After independence, France left soldiers permanently in bases in those places. And presidents were changing like this. And people thought it was just internal coup d'etat, but many people believe it was directed from very far away. Now, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, when these 3 people came into power, they kicked out those militaries and said, you must go back to your country. You're like, what, 2,000? You need to go back to your country. We don't need you here. That is brotherhood. Now, after they did that, you know what happened? Denmark was not happy with Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. They say we are closing our embassies and taking all of our aid back to Europe because we see that your interests are not European anymore. I mean, Mali, Burkina Faso never said they were the enemies of Europe. They say we don't want French anymore in our country. We are independent countries. We don't want them here anymore. They never said we don't want no European. But Denmark said, okay, we also are calling out our ambassador because you're chasing the French. That is brotherhood. I don't need to understand what you're going through. I just need to know that you have problems with my brother. I'm going to push myself aside. I'm not saying I'm going to go to war with you directly, not understanding. But for the first view, I'm going to pull myself aside, trying to understand from my brother's perspective and pull a decent, logical conclusion to the situation. Brotherhood is not about skin color, my brother. Because people from your skin color will unalive you for their own interest. If brotherhood was about countries, people like this one, Thomas Sankara, wouldn't have been unalived by his own brother. This man right here, he was his friend, his best friend. But for his personal interest, he sold him to foreigners. Don't be blinded, my man. Don't lie to yourself. Go find your brothers. Are you African Americans? Well, your brothers are not necessarily African Americans. I'm sorry. You may find among them people that are your brothers. You may find amongst them, maybe your brothers are actually somewhere in Tanzania. How do you know? How do you not know about that? Maybe in Kenya. You can only discover when you experience. Okay? You experience proximity. Do you speak to all African Americans? You don't. Do you get along with everybody in Chicago? You don't. Or in Atlanta? You don't. It's the same in Africa. You can't get along with everybody. You can only get along with people that prove to be your brothers, your friends at war. Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso are the only brothers in Africa from now. And we need to move toward that direction. Number one, people from these countries don't need visas to each other. They can go visit one another with no place. No issue, no problem. Number two, you see this guy here? This guy from Nigeria, he was one of the commanders of ECOWAS. This is ECOWAS. Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso used to be part of ECOWAS. After they threw out the French and asked them to leave, ECOWAS was curiously very angry. Why were they angry? Well, we found out they used to be sponsored by Europeans. Well, if you're sponsored by Europeans, you as ECOWAS is supposed to be a group of Africans coming together, helping one another's countries for the interests of Africans. Are you really for the interests of Africans if you are being sponsored by Europeans? And that's explained why they were so angry when these three countries decided to kick out the French. And guess what they did next? They went to Europe asking for Europeans' blessings before they go and attack Niger.
Visit this afternoon is to explain our position to the European Union, what has informed the various measures that ECOWAS has taken, and the collaboration we seek from all our partners. As you know, the world is a global village. One event in a particular place affects the whole world. So that is why we find it important to come to Spain to talk to our partners from the European Union so that they understand what we are doing and give us the support that they are able to give us.
Look at Niger on the map. This is the president of Niger, Tiani. Before him was this guy, Bazoum Mohammed. Now, ECOWAS was very angry when Tiani overtook Bazoum. He didn't kill him, he just put him in house arrest. ECOWAS was ready. Look at them. Listen to this guy talking.
All member states of ECOWAS present here today have all committed elements. They have committed their own equipment. They have committed their own resources to undertake this mission. So I tell you, we are ready to go anytime the order is given. The D-Day is also decided, which we are not going to disclose. There will be no more meetings of the chiefs of defense staff. If there will be, it will be probably in the course of the operation if there is the need to adjust the operation.
He said they are ready to go, meaning all these countries of Africa came together, putting weapons and logistics together so they can go unalive people in an African country. Were they white? Were they Indians? Were they Asians? No, they were Africans and black like you, ready to go and do mayhem at the next black person's house because they're not happy with what he's doing in his house. It's crazy. So You say, for the interest of the Africans, you need to go back and fight the people that have started something new, but you don't take into consideration that you're going to be making people bleed. So a lot of innocent people will die if you attack. That doesn't bother you. So when the terrorists attack the country, you don't ever come together as ECOWAS saying, let's put on an army of people to go fight terrorists. But only when children from the same country decide to take up their country and chase out the foreigners that are French, that bothers you. Guess who was the brother of Niger at that time? These two countries, Mali and Burkina Faso. They say, if you dare attack Niger, you're going to be declaring war against us. So it's going to be havoc and mayhem all across West Africa.
Warned that any military intervention against Niger will be considered as a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali. I repeat, 4. Warned that any military intervention against Niger will be considered as a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali.
That is how ECOWAS resolved not to attack Niger, but they were ready. They put money together, weapons together, and people together. Why don't they put weapons and money and all that stuff against terrorists who are unaliving people? Why don't they come together to find solutions against fuel shortage? Because they are involved. Well, experts believe this is all cooked from somewhere in Paris. Okay, the goal is to separate you people so they can manage you. That's how it is. Brotherhood has nothing to do with skin color. Brotherhood is proven, my brother. I understand you love me, I love you too, but we need to prove each other brotherhood through small actions, through presence, through support. If you're fighting an enemy, I'm coming to your side. I'm fighting with you. I'm not going to look at you from the side. No, I'm in the fight with you. Nigerian people coming with a convoy of fuel because the strategy of terrorists was let's cut the fuel from the countries. They're going to be suffering and it's going to be painful. Well, Niger's got a lot of fuel. Niger sent 82 tankers filled with fuel with their soldiers. Now, something that you need to take into consideration is these terrorists are not necessarily doing the same thing in Niger. Practically, Niger's soldiers don't have the experience of fighting terrorists on the road. Malians do have the experience. But Niger, in the name of brotherhood, has sent his children, meaning his soldiers, to go accompany the tankers in case they met these terrorists on the road in ambushes they are ready to fight. So they're giving away the experience that the Malians have. I mean, they could have said, Mali, please send soldiers and tankers so you can come and get petroleum. They didn't do that. They said, we're going to send you tankers and soldiers, escort to protect. Oh, by the way, if they get attacked, it's great because they're going to acquire the experience they need. Now, RS also are working together in terms of army. They are integrating into each other like America has done, like Europe has done. And the rest of Africa is just looking because people only care for their personal interests. Let me know how you feel about this. Let me know how you feel about it. Look at them chanting. Look at them happy with each other. You can't even tell which one is from which country because countries are lies. Look at them. Tell me which one is Malian. No, look at these people. Tell me which one is Malian, which one is Nigerian.
Here we feel at home. Here we are truly at home. As you can see, everyone is going about their own business. Honestly, we are at home here. We feel good here.
The only difference is the flag. The flag created by who? Who created flags for countries? Yeah, that shows you the truth. You see the map? Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger. It's people from the same area. They are the same people. And they're coming together the way they were created. God bless.